Hello everyone, it is I, Reversal, and welcome back to another episode of Tip Town with Reversal. This is the series in which I answer your questions on Twitter, Instagram or YouTube, and if you wish to have your question featured, then make sure you use the hashtag AskReversal. It will be on the screen for the duration of the video, and by that I can actually help you guys out with any type of issue you might have, anything you guys want any tips on, or just questions that you guys have for Tip Town of Reversal. So today we have 4 questions to actually go over. One of it comes from Instagram and the other 3 comes from YouTube. I didn't receive any question from Twitter, unfortunately, so I really hope next week we actually do have a few questions from Twitter. But that being said, we're going to be getting into the Instagram question first because it actually is very interesting, and it comes from Hunterditsch or Ditch. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. I'm terribly sorry about that. Anyway, he's asking me, hey Reversal, I've been playing Knights and Dragons for a while now. I've gotten myself up to level 156 with 2 epics, and my question is, how are those people, or these people who keep constantly topping the leaderboards, getting all of their epic armors? It seems that as soon as a new one comes out, these people obtain it. I struggle to get 2 epics as it is, and they both have low stats. Love your channel, thanks. Well, pretty easy question to answer. You know, there's a lot of people playing Knights and Dragons, and some people are playing the game free to play, as in they don't spend any money on the game. I'm a free to play player myself. I don't spend any money on the game at all. I have been spending some money in the game in the beginning, but I didn't spend it afterwards anymore. And you know, some people, you know, with daytime jobs like to relax after a day of hard work, get on Knights and Dragons, and they want to get the full experience of Knights and Dragons. So some of those people actually feel like, you know, we should pay to actually play the game as it is meant to be played the game, and that's by getting epics, by using chests, and for example, go onto the leaderboard and hitting top ranking on the epic boss. You know, there's different types of players, just naming one scenario, but I can imagine that some people actually spend a lot of money on the game. For example, all of those top guilds out there need to spend like gem packages in order to get their epics out there. And I know Knights and Dragons, if you want to play on the top of Knights and Dragons isn't a cheap hobby. It's actually quite expensive. And if you want to be on the top of the leaderboard, it's actually gonna cost you some money. So that's really the way people get their epics. And people, you know, actually when people see a new chest epic, they're gonna be like, hey, that looks really cool, I like that one, and the stats are pretty nice as well. So they're gonna be like, hey, I actually want to get that one, and they'll try anything in their power to actually get their epics out there. So I hope that answers your question. We're gonna be moving on to the next one. This question comes from my good friend Equinox Prodigy. He's also a YouTuber. Make sure you guys check out his YouTube channel. Link is gonna be in the video description. And he's asking me, are there some legendary combinations that have the elements for a fusible epic, but are impossible to get an epic from the fusion? I've always wondered that. So basically what he's asking is, like, if we go to the Fusion Master here, I'm gonna try to elaborate the question. So if we have, for example, the Wormshroud Mantle, and we have the Cyclops Battle Gear Plus in here, and if we were just going to place this 1-2 in here, it gives us the chance of getting the Tectonic Mantle, the Armor of the Komodo, and the Druidic Blade Bow, and the Arcane Mantle. Now, what he's asking is, like, for example, he's asking that, for example, on this combination, would it be impossible to get, like, on a specific armor, get a Druidic Blade Bell? I'm just naming a weird example in there. So basically, how to explain this is actually a pretty weird question, but basically what he's wondering is, like, are there type of elements which Greek cancelled out to make them not get those epics even though you place the elements in? And the answer to that question is no. I'm pretty sure, I'm actually 100% sure about this, that Gree has designed the game based off elements. So that means that if you place an element in there, the system is gonna read like you placed in an earth element and you placed a spirit element, and they're both 4 stars, so that gives you a chance of getting that and that and that, and those type of armors. And I don't really think that Gree would go that far to, you know, not mention the fact that some armors would not be giving you the chance of actually getting an epic. I'm pretty sure it's based off the level or the rarity of the armor and the elements of the armor, if that really answers your question. I'm not sure about this, I cannot confirm this, but based off what I've seen from playing the game for half a year at least, I'm pretty sure it's based off elements. So the next question is actually really interesting. It's not really a question, he's basically commanding me to give us tips how to make a new successful guild. And I'm gonna try to keep the subject as short as possible, because I could literally dedicate 30 minutes to how to make a successful guild. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm actually gonna talk about the beginning parts and what you need to take into consideration. So, it seems to me that you are actually really interested in starting off a new guild, Mr. Bubbles, and it's actually quite a responsibility that you're having to carry as the guild master. First of all, you got a lot of members under your wing, and they're gonna ask you questions, and they are going to listen to you. So you gotta be a leader, you gotta be the example of the guild. And in order to make a guild successful, you need to earn the respect of your members. So first of all, the main tip I can give you is stay humble. Because if you are gonna, direct your members, or if you are going to manage your members, and you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do that. If you don't make your deadline, you're out of your guild. If you spam, you're gonna get demoted, stuff like that. Eventually, what this is gonna do to those members is gonna be like, well, I feel pressured on playing a game I just play for fun, and they're gonna run away. Now, let's take one step back in this case, as where you just started off your guild, and you have no members. How do you recruit? Because that's very important. How do you recruit? What do you pay attention on when you recruit? Well, usually when I started my guild, I expected no expectations here whatsoever. I was like, I'm gonna build a guild that is fun to be in, where the members feel themselves at home, and we can create like a group of friends. That's my goal. That was what my goal was when I started off Incognito. Now, what I did was I went to the arena, because at that time I didn't really do YouTube yet. I went to the leaderboard, I went to my own rankings, and around here I was scouting around for people who had no guild at the time. Like, for example, this guy over here, Worst Assassin. Well, this guy, he's right now level 11, but he is in no guild, so that means that you can actually invite him. What I've been doing is I went to the arena, and I literally invited everybody who I saw, and some of those people joined in, some people joined other guilds, some people joined my guild. And what really makes a guild successful in the beginning is the way you welcome those people and the way you interact with them. So communication is absolutely a key element in having a guild being very successful. But if you're not capable of talking to your guild members or anything, it's better not to have that guild member in, because they're not going to try anything. They're not going to listen to what you're saying. They're not going to respect you as the guild master who you are. And it makes it very hard to actually it makes it very hard to keep, things up and running. Because when one member is going to be like, I'm not going to do it, then there might be another member who's going to do the exact same thing. Because we all get influenced by the behaviors of our environment. So, if you're on a group of people, then if 4 of those people are like, I'm not gonna go there because it's stupid and retarded, you are automatically almost like saying unconsciously like that it's stupid and retarded, because they are feeling the same thing. And if you were to do something else, they were gonna be like, oh, that's not cool, you're not a part of us anymore. So that's how it also gets to the guild. Make sure you treat everyone equal. Make sure you have some core rules set up. And try to not focus too much on contribution in the beginning. Try to focus a little bit more on creating the guild. Instead of, setting deadlines for contribution, you could be like, well, if you have something to miss, I would really appreciate if you were to donate like some 1,000 gold to the guild, so that way you can actually help us build up. If you donate a certain amount, you will actually help yourself as well, because you're gonna get some fusion boost armors, and at the same time you would help out our guild. And I want to thank you for being in our guild, and I really appreciate you having with us. That is a whole different approach than like those 5,000 guild members who are gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna do this and this and this and this, and otherwise you're gonna be out. Different types of approaches is very important to make a very successful guild. I hope it helps you out. I have a lot of experience when it comes to leading guilds. I've literally been leading guilds on different types of games for over a decade almost. So that's a really long time, and I've learned a lot of stuff in the progress. So I might make that video on leading a guild. I'm not sure about it. Anyway, gonna move on to our last question of today, and it's actually the question of the guy who helped me getting the arcane mantle, but he also asked me a very good question, and I'm gonna feature him and that is why I'm gonna feature him. So he's saying, me and my guildmate want to trade a few armors, but we know it's impossible. Do you think that if Knights and Dragons introduce an armor trading feature, would it be good? No, it would destroy the game. Hands down, it would destroy the game. I'm opposing it. I dislike the idea of tradable armors. I'm gonna explain it to you guys so that way you guys understand why I'm opposing this so much. Because if anything, if there's one feature in the game that I don't want to be having added in Knights and Dragons, it would be armor trading. First of all, what you gotta understand is, if armor trading is available, any of the top guild members of any guild will be capable of trading away the epics, and they will be capable of giving those epics to other people. What do you think is gonna happen? People are gonna make 2 accounts, and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm a little bit bored of this account, so they're gonna trade their armors to their other accounts. That is one issue already, and they're gonna be capable of using those accounts. So that means that you can do whatever you want, as long as you want. You can be like, hey, you can be like, for example, if one person is like on a holiday or something, you're gonna be like, can I use your epics? That way I can actually defeat the epic boss and actually do really well in the guild war. Do you guys think that's a good idea, that a feature like this gets added in the game? A lot of people want this feature, but think a little bit outside of the box. It's a terrible idea to have a feature like this, because it would create such an imbalance in the game. It's not real. I'm really opposing the idea of armor trading, and I really hope that this will never get added in the game, because it would really destroy the game. I can actually potentially see a lot of people quitting the game once this feature gets added, because it's not really, there's no use to actually do guild wars anymore. There's no use. And it may sound really strange and stupid when I'm saying it like this, but trust me, the effect of armor trading is gonna mess up the game, and it's gonna mess up the game very good. I'm pretty sure that you being level 30, for example, if you are level 30 in the arena, you seriously don't want to meet someone who has all the Guild War Epic Pluses maxed out. That's what I'm saying. If you still have the big 4, you probably don't want to meet anyone out there who has an epic, let alone all of the Guild War Epic Pluses. So that's something that I kind of wanted to get out of the way. I hope you guys understand that. If it's not like, if you guys still don't understand my reasoning, I might make a separate video about this once again, because I got asked this question like so many times on so many occasions, and they're gonna be like, hey Reversal, can you like tell Greed to add armor feature tradings? And I'm like, no, it's gonna screw the game over. Why would you even want something like this? And they don't understand. The only thing that's on their mind is like, oh, maybe we're gonna get some epics then, you know. But they don't think outside of the box, and that's kind of the message that I want to bring with you guys. So that being said, that was another episode of Tip Time with Reversal. Sorry that sorry if I like dragged on specific subjects. I tried to keep it on topic as much as possible. And that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I already said that, but I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to actually use hashtag AskReversal on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube if you have any questions for me for Tip Time with Reversal. That being said, I hope this was helpful. I'm keeping repeating the same things, I believe. It's because this is like the 7th recording that I'm doing. The first 5 recordings was with some issues with the audio recording. The 6th recording was a dry throat, and right now I'm like, my mind is so empty out of all of these recordings that I don't know what to commentate about. And there's a fly flying around my room, and I'm trying to, okay, whatever. So that's gonna be it, and make sure that if you guys like this episode to boom, give it a thumbs up. This is Reversal for Tip Time with Reversal and Knights and Dragons. I'll be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.